Right. Well, we know we're going to see 94 feet of pressure from the Lady Raiders today. And so Coach Hui was talking about just the poise of handling the basketball, making good decisions, you know, just being solid with the ball. And same thing, we all know that turnovers have been a thing for the Lady Raiders, and it's really hurt them in some of their games. So they want to be poised and make good decisions with the basketball as well. So that, I think the turnovers are going to be a big stat to keep an eye on.
Yesterday at practice, Krista Gerlich said 3 words to her team: defend, defend, and defend. They didn't defend there.
No, we already seeing Kiera Merchant getting herself to the rim, and that's what she can do so well. Got a good, quick first step, just really nice little floater there on the baseline.
Well, Texas Tech making a change in their starting lineup. Today, Fritz back in the starting 5 along with Jordan Merritt. 𝗀𝗲𝗱𝗆, who has been starting, she had a little bit of food poisoning, shall we say. Told us before the game she's feeling much better. We expect her to play, hopefully. Here's the press that Texas Tech wants to do. They think that since Houston only has 8 players available, they want to wear them down by the 3rd quarter.
And we've seen them do that to multiple teams throughout this non-conference.
Danae Fritz. Season high, 8 late game points versus Lamar in the last contest.
Right, and I was going to say, we've been waiting to see that, right? Her ability to score, she does have it, and I think that's great for her early. But I like that Bailey Maupin rebounded, pushed the ball in transition. Danae ran the floor hard, got to her spot in transition at the arc.
Lele Love misses, but again, an offensive rebound. That is something that has hurt Texas Tech this season. Opponents' offensive rebounding, especially we saw it in the SMU game.
Right, that was a huge factor in the loss of that game. So Tech's got to do a good job of putting bodies on bodies. You know, they're really 2 like-sized teams here. They both have good length, both have good athleticism. So this is going to be a battle on the glass.
Now, the last 3 games, Texas Tech opponents have averaged over 20 second-chance points. On the season, it's only 17. That's nice defense. Possession arrow, that'll belong to Texas Tech. Let's talk about the keys to the game for the Lady Raiders.
First and foremost, Coach Gerlich talked to us about setting the tone right from the tip. She wanted to be aggressive and in attack mode right from the tip. Then defend without fouling. Didn't want to put the Cougars on the foul line tonight and give them free points there. And then again, like we just talked about, taking care of the basketball is so important for the Lady Raiders. Getting shots on goal and not giving up live ball turnovers that lead to points for the Cougars.
Danae Fritz with a rejection, and here comes Tech going the other way. Fritz, that is only her 9th block of the season. Bailey Maupin 3. You know, talking to Krista Gerlich yesterday at practice about Bailey Maupin, she just said she's playing now like a 3-year vet, and that is a big compliment.
She really has been. She's elevated her game. We talked about this in the last broadcast. How she's almost too unselfish at times, but she has really stepped up, scored the basketball, and they need that from her.
Sarah Sanogo had it, lost it, but Tech's going to have the basketball. Again, Texas Tech coming in 11-2. 4th time in the last decade. They started out the season by winning 10 of their first 12 games. They've won 5 of the last 6 and 6 in a row. But this game is important. Both teams go on a break after today. Maupin again. Maupin's got 5.
Chevalier just gave her, and Chevalier should know her better than anyone since she played with her last year, but gave her too much space. When Bailey Maupin can get to that jumper, it's over.
How many times did we see Bailey Maupin and Ashley Chevalier go at it last year in practice?
Right.
Love, nice pass inside to McFarland. Counted and a foul.
Excellent pass there from Lily Love down to McFarland, who's been such a really good post presence for this Cougar team. Coach just talked about that she has played the most minutes of her career and just shows up every day and goes to work.
Checking into the lineup, Leilani Augman, number 0, the redshirt senior out of San Jose, California, transfer from Troy. And here is Peyton McFarland out of Boise, Idaho. 59 games for Utah. You know, you talk about the fact she has to play a lot of minutes, but you forget the fact she has no subs in practice. She's got to practice the entire time.
She does not, so I imagine she is in really good shape.
Yes. Merritt to Maupin. Maupin lets it fly. Sanogo can't get it. Merritt thought she had it. Last touch by Houston. Krista Gerlich likes the way her team is coming into this game. She really challenged them last night, basically saying, hey, we've got a bunch of days off. I know a lot of you have relatives in town, but at 8 o'clock, you got to tell them to get out. You got to get to bed, because this game is big for us.
Right, one more big game, and then everybody gets to take a deep breath for the holidays.
Hogman on the drive into the hands of Sarah Sonogo. She lost it. Fritz picks the pocket, keeps it alive. Here's Moffitt. Shaver spotting up near side. She'll let it fly for three. Got it.
I love the threes that Texas Tech is getting in transition right now. The early one from Danae Fritz, that one from Jasmine Shavers. But that's how Tech wants to play. Rebound and run, force turnovers and run, space the floor, share the basketball.
Ah, yes, but then the 94-foot foul. That'll be on Jordan Merritt.
You know, Coach Huey, we've known him for years, right? He's known for his 94 feet of heat. So this would be a really fun game if he had his typical depth where he would be pressing the whole time as well. It would be really fun to watch these two pressing teams really get after it. I don't think we'll see as much of that from him this year with his depth.
You know, you and I have always liked Coach Huey. He's been one of our favorites. He shoots us straight, and he, along with Von Reed, Ty Dillard, were telling us today, you can't practice like you want to practice because of the numbers you have.
Right. You got to have a really good men's practice squad.
He said, but I don't want to hear any excuses, because I've told the team it is what it is. Shavers, baseline jumper, a little strong. Rebound pulled away by Layla Blair. Graduate out of Houston. Fourth in Houston history in points. 𝗿𝗲𝗱𝘆 pulls it away. Just about halfway home here in the opening quarter. Fritz again launches. Got her second!
I love her aggressiveness to shoot the ball of late, because we all know that's what she can do. It just seems so tentative early on. I think she's finally found her place and is letting it fly.
She had 3 field goals made in the last game versus Lamar. The previous 7 games, she also made. How about the keys for Houston and his squad?
Well, like we've already addressed, being poised with the basketball and handling specifically this press of Texas Tech. But secondly, it was second chance opportunities. He was like, we've got to get on the glass. We've got to give ourselves second chance opportunities. And then third, he was like, we just can't get sped up. We've got to play at our own pace and not play at the pace that Tech wants to force us into. So I don't know if they're meeting any of those keys just yet. Their second chance opportunities. Tech has done a really good job keeping them off the glass so far early in this quarter.
Well, the big key for Tech in the early going, the play of Danae Fritz. She had 14 points tonight and last game combined. In the previous 8 games, she only had a total of 12 points. She's coming alive at the right time for Texas Tech.
She is, and they need her ability to score.
Houston is not really a three-point shooting team.
No, it's not their strength. They only make about 6 per game, as does Tech, but they are off to a hot start from the arc so far today.
Logan Johnson coming off an outstanding game against Lamar is in the lineup for the Lady Raiders. That'll be 3 seconds. We'll go the other way. 𝗿𝗲𝗱𝘆 got caught.
I know. I'm going to blame that turnover, though, on Sarah Sonogo. She had 𝗿𝗲𝗱𝘆, and Ashley Chevalier was guarding 𝗿𝗲𝗱𝘆. You've got to lob that up to her. Kyla's going to go get that. You have to take advantage of that mismatch.
Absolutely. Nice job. Johnson poking it away from Chevalier on the reverse layup. That was pretty by Gigi Cook.
Gigi Cook's been fun to see her return to the court this year after she was out with injury all last season, because she's just a dynamic scorer for them, and she really, when she's locked in, she brings a lot of energy to this Cougar team.
Yeah, Ron Huey was pretty emphatic about it. She's got to be focused in today's game. Sonogo, that'll be a travel. There's the defense that Houston's team has been built on ever since Coach Huey took over. They're coming off a win over Mississippi Valley State, 98-40. They had only 7 players available in that game, but they had their second best field goal percentage at 49%, and made the most 3-pointers for the year. And they didn't turn it over, as they did just there.
And that's part of what Coach Huey was talking about, not getting sped up there. Just going a little too fast, grabbed it, traveled with it as she's turning to attack. Haley
Love's going to check back into the lineup, the graduate transfer out of Kansas City and Louisville and Georgia Tech, where she spent her first 3 years. She's back into the lineup. Texas Tech by 5. Inside of 4 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. 2 Big 12 games played today. Fritz has it knocked away. Johnson goes hard to the floor. Freeline comes up with it. And then Shavers takes a big hit. But it's going to belong to Texas Tech.
I think both teams a little too sped up both ways right now, but I love the hustle. I love the bodies to the floor, like fighting for every possession.
What do we talk about, poise?
Yeah. Not a lot of poise in this possession, but I do appreciate the hustle. I do appreciate the hustle.
I do too. When you see Blair going to the floor, Logan Johnson going to the floor, I wouldn't want to collide with Logan Johnson.
No, me either.
That's a losing battle there. Here's Jazz Shavers, leads Texas Tech in scoring, 15.5 a game. Tech tosses it over. That'll be their 5th turnover of the ball game, and that's been a bugaboo at times this year.
It really has been. At least that's a dead ball turnover, so it doesn't, give them opportunities to get out and run. But still, that high-low passing from the guards to the post is what has given them some trouble. The guards got to continue working on those post passes.
Here's 𝗀𝗲𝗱𝘆, played for Texas Tech. Part of the squad last season. A little shaking and baking by Love. No. Rebound by a peak. Krista Gerlich singling her out last night at practice, saying she's finally starting to be what we thought she would be.
Now we're going to see a little bit of a chess match here because Houston has gone small with Lily Love at the 5. And Tech has countered and gone big with Maya Peak, so they've got to give her the basketball.
Well, they weren't able to get it to her. Love was really pushing her away, and they turned it over into the hands of Love.
Smartly using her feet, which is her strength, against the body of Maya Pete and getting around her, trying to front her, making her work. And
Cook throws it away. That's only the 3rd turnover against the Cougars. And that'll get Adley Blacklock up off the bench for Texas Tech. Also coming back in, Peyton McFarland for Houston. Kara Merchant will also come back into the lineup. Ashley 𝗀𝗲𝗱𝘆 will take a break. Talk about the fact that basically Coach Huey, he's got 7, possibly 8 players. It's kind of a juggling match trying to get those substitutions in and when and how much time do you give players?
Right. I mean, they've got to have quick breaks, but at the same point, like everybody that's dressed, everybody's going to play today, and they're really learning how to play together with these small numbers. And in all reality, I think Tech is a little bit of the exception with their depth. Once you get into conference play, typically you're only playing about 8 players anyway.
Right.
Like your bench really shortens. I think Tech has an advantage there that they do have a legitimate deep bench.
Well, that foul was on McFarland. Summer Bostic will check back into the lineup. McFarland's going to go out. Summer, the sophomore out of Toronto, Canada, started her career at Maryland. Big-time 3-point shooter.
McFarland can't afford to get a second foul, though, here early.
You called the game Houston and UT Arlington, and we saw McFarland getting a little bit of foul trouble in that game. That changes things. That'll be another turnover. 7 turnovers in the opening quarter for the Lady Raiders.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I know has really frustrated Coach Gerlich, just taking care of the basketball, being sharp with it. That's something that's going to have to correct because teams in the Big 12 are going to take advantage of those turnovers. Tech
averaging almost 18 turnovers a game. The good news is they force almost 22 turnovers a game.
Right, and the thing about it is these players got to understand they're shooting 43% as a team. That's a really good percentage.
Right.
So when they're getting shots on goal, they're making them at a high clip. So you want to get shots on goal and not turn the ball over.
That is a pretty move by Kara Merchant. More than doubled her points per game from last season. And all of a sudden, the lead is 3. Texas Tech is led by as many as 7. Less than 1:45 to play here in the opening quarter. Moffitt. Pete has to come out to set the high pick. Johnson, no. Knocked out, it'll belong to Houston.
I'm not even sure how Logan got herself to the rim there because the spacing was all out of sorts over there. So the fact that she even got herself to the rim to attempt a shot, they got to continue to keep that good spacing and give Maya Pete room to work in there if that's where they want the ball to go.
Now Texas Tech closing in on a 4-minute scoring drought. That'll be a whistle and a foul. Ogman was trying to make a move. And that'll go against Texas Tech. And Coach Gerlich is probably happy with the start, but the last 5 minutes he probably isn't happy with.
Right, few too many turnovers, some silly fouls.
Foul was on Jalen Bristow on the drive, count it.
Hey, but that's the chess match we were talking about. They brought 𝗲𝗱𝗆 out and let 𝗲𝗲𝗀𝗆 attack her off the bounce because that is not her strength guarding on the perimeter.
Maupin gives it up. Blacklock lost it. And another turnover. 7 turnovers the last 4:15 for the Lady Raiders. And then the skies open up, and that allows Love to take it straight inside.
Right now, Houston is winning that chess match of the battle in the 5 because Tech hasn't been able to get the ball inside to 𝗲𝗆𝗆 against 𝗲𝗲𝗀𝗆, and 𝗲𝗲𝗀𝗆 has just taken it off the bounce 2 times in a row against her.
Houston on a 6-0 run. Houston's got 12 of their 15 points are coming in the paint. Maupin forces the shot. No. Knocked up by Ogman. Maupin gets it back. Can't finish again. Shot clock turned off. Quickly up ahead to Cook. She looks up at the clock and slows things down. You wouldn't expect that Houston would be dominating the tunnel right now.
Right, no, and we just talked about that. That was probably the best start that Tech has gotten off to. And then after that timeout, that disappeared.
And it's going to be a 10-0 run by the Houston Cougars over the last 4:30 to end quarter number 1. Houston hitting 4 of their last 5 shots after trailing by 7. The Cougars lead by 3.
We'll talk about that a little later today, but yeah, it's going to be fun.
A couple of things jump out when you look at the numbers from the first 10 minutes of play. The last 2 games, Texas Tech opponents have averaged, and in fact both games, they had 30 points in the paint. Houston had 14 in the opening quarter. Also the fact that Texas Tech, they turned it over 9 times in the opening quarter.
Yeah, just way too many turnovers for the quarter. They've got to dial that back there. And then points in the paint, like the fact that Tech isn't getting any of them. And I know they've hit their 3s early. You know, they were 4 for 6 in that quarter from the arc, which is fantastic. But you can't live and die that way because this team isn't built like that. They've got to get paint touches. And I probably heard Krista say paint touches about 47 times in shoot around this morning. You know what I mean? So the ball's got to hit the paint.
13-0 run after Bostic hits her 11th 3 of the season, and that stops the run.
Really nice finish there by Sarah Sanogo because Houston does such a good job at rotating out of their pick and roll coverages on the backside with their help side, and they were there. Sarah Sanogo was just able to score right over her, but 𝗀𝗁𝗄𝗆 does a great job teaching those rotations.
Sarah Sanogo, she can score. She didn't have a field goal attempt the last 2 games, and in that span she had only 1 point. Now she runs the floor underneath. They didn't see her. Shavers working on Bostic with the right hand. Whistle and a foul is going to be called. You and I were both, we watched Sanogo just like a gazelle run down the floor. They didn't get to her.
I know, I think we were both trying to pass her the ball. We saw that. You got to look inside and you got to reward your bigs when they run the floor.
And Jasmine Shavers will go to the line. The junior out of Mesquite, Texas. 11 20-point games in her career. She's got 1 this season. Her parents drive from Mesquite every game. And I volunteered not to ride with them, any of them.
It's pretty special to have that kind of support, though.
Oh, yeah.
She's a special player. Her and 𝗿𝗍𝗆 Maupin are a fantastic 1-2 punch for these Lady Raiders when it comes to their ability to score the basketball, share the basketball, score in a variety of ways.
Well, I didn't jinx her. Prior to that miss, she had hit her last 13 free throw attempts. Lead is 3. And the foul's going to be called. Chevalier goes down hard. That'll be on Jalen Bristow. And Danae Fritz will come back into the lineup.
And that's Bristow's second foul for reaching in. And that was one of Chris's keys, was defending without fouling. Like, you were there. You had her. Like, just stay consistent. Move your feet. No need to reach and get a silly foul like that.
So you and I were talking during the break. When the first team of Texas Tech was in, they were operating on all cylinders. When that second team came in, things kind of got off the rails.
Right, they got to come in and you've got to positively impact. I love that they have so many people that can sub in, but got to have a positive impact.
How about that for Sanogo with a layup?
Excellent job. They hedged that ball screen, jumped out, really disrupted Houston's offense and turned that into points.
You know, you watch Sanogo in practice. She is so athletic, and we saw a little bit of that athleticism on that last play.
Oh yeah, her length and athleticism. I love her ability to move and defend on the perimeter as well.
And that's going to be a whistle and a foul. And Sanogo quickly kind of goes, I didn't do it. Here it is again. Watch the quick hands.
Excellent. And then tips it away to herself. She can run after it and get it. Thought she might dunk that there, but good job just going to finishing the layup.
Well, she was a junior college honorable mention All-American last year. Her sister plays for Canisius. They were going to get together in Dallas for the Christmas holiday, but I don't think Mom wanted the two sisters to be alone in Dallas. You know, I think Sarah kind of reminded her mom, you realize that we came to the United States from France on our own.
Right. It's great that she does have her sister here playing too. I'm
Yeah.
sure they can lean on each other through the trials and successes of college basketball.
Well, Sarah, along with Ivana Krajina from Croatia, they're going to spend Christmas together down at some relatives of Ivana down in Odessa. Texas, that is. Here's Danae Fritz, coming alive the last two games offensively. Moppin. Win. Oh, what a great ball fake. That'll be off to the right. Fritz thought she had it, lost it into the hands of Augman. Augman started 9 of 11 games, counted in a foul.
Layla Blair is so strong and physical when she can get going downhill and to the rim, attacking in transition. Excellent finish there. Tex got to dial back on the fouling there, and you know, because when Houston can get out in transition, that's when they can really be talented.
You look at Layla Blair, one of the things she has the ability to do is get to the free throw line, averaging almost 4 free throw attempts a ball game.
I know everyone was really excited when Layla Blair decided to come back to Houston for her 5th year, her COVID year, and play again with her teammates and her coaches.
Again, she's 4th in Houston history in points. Has a chance to move up the ladder even further.
You can tell their defensive pressure has really ratcheted it up since that first quarter.
Every coach will tell you, and it's a phrase used a lot, defense travels. Mop it, the long three rattles it. Her second of the ball game.
They did a good job there splitting that hedge. Houston's been high hedging them, splitting that, getting it out of the hedge, skip pass over to Bailey Maupin.
Bailey having a career year shooting the basketball, a career high field goal percentage. How about that? Good defense too.
Just making it hard at every turn for Houston to get the ball up the court.
Well, that's what Krista was talking to us yesterday about, that they put Bailey in all these different situations. She has to guard all sorts of different players, and she's done it. They forced the turnover. That's only the 5th against the Cougars today. But Bailey has stepped up to the challenge both offensively and defensively.
She has, but that's what you expect your go-to veteran players to do. You know, even when they're not scoring, to be able to defend and step up and impact both ends of the court.
Chevalier on Maupin, they show the double. Bailey splits it off. Beautiful pass. Maupin inside to Sanogo.
Again, excellent job splitting that high hedge there, getting through that and then dropping off when Sanogo's defender had to step up. Good sharing the basketball, good offense.
Sarah Sanogo already with 3 points in the ball game. That's icing on the cake. Chevalier has it tipped. Danae Fritz comes up with it. Shavers on the right side. Look at Sanogo running the floor. Got it.
Now we've got some rhythm and flow back. Now we're creating some turnovers, getting out and running and scoring the basketball. This is how they started the game. Now they're getting back to that action. Good push here up the floor. Jasmine finding her teammate running the floor for the wide open layup. That's just pretty basketball.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger.
Run. They've outscored Houston 8-2, points in the paint here in the second, Brandy.
You know, I think they've come out in this first 4 minutes of the second quarter. They haven't turned the ball over, so they've gotten good shot attempts. They're 5 of 6 from the field so far, and they've been in attack mode. They've created offense from their defense that have led to really easy baskets for them, and I think that is such a big key for their offense.
Well, Tech has forced 6 turnovers by Houston this season. They have forced 20-plus turnovers in 8 games, number 2 in the Big 12, coming into this weekend in forced turnovers. And they need to do that. That's part of their defense.
Right, and that's how she wants to play. You know, picking up full court, pressuring, disrupting people's offense.
You saw Layla Blair currently 4th on the list. Closing in on a record for three-pointers made in Houston. She's 17 three-pointers made from all-time Houston history. Brittany Scott owns that record.
Coming out of that huddle with a little bit different look here in a 2-3 zone, just to give Houston something different to look at.
And Coach Huey didn't think that he'd see any zone by Texas Tech this afternoon. Beautiful pass. Danae Fritz, she's got 8 in the ball game, second consecutive game. 8 for Danae, and it's a 9-0 run.
Their transition offense is better than I've seen it look in several games. They've really got that going, running the floor well, sharing the basketball.
What is impressive, 10 assists for Texas Tech on 11 baskets made. And to put that in perspective, they average just about 13 assists a game.
Right.
Wow.
That's fantastic, and that's what she wants to see, though, sharing the basketball. There's so many capable options on this team outside of Maupin and Shavers, and they need them to score for sure. But so many others have the ability to step up on any given night.
Now the scoring drought for Houston, now over 2 minutes. Blair being guarded by Maupin, who's yelling out instructions to her left. Blair with 7 to shoot. Blair over Maupin's outstretched hands. Rebound Sanogo.
Tech has done a really good job on the glass, not allowing any second chance opportunities for the Cougars. They only have 1 offensive rebound so far this half.
Well, the last time these two teams met was in the Big 12 tournament. Texas Tech scored 74 points. Courtesy of Chuck Hines, you see him up there on the right-hand side with the glasses on. His stat of the day, 71 of those 74 points are on the floor for Tech tonight. And then you put Ashley Chevalier in, all 74 of the points are here today. That's a great stat. That's a total minutia stat. I love it.
That
Thank you,
is a great
Chuck.
stat.
That's awesome. 9-0 run, though, for the Lady Raiders. Jada Wynn turned it over. Turnovers now at 10. But only 1 here in quarter number 2. Merchant gives it up to Blair. Out of Houston, Texas. On the dribble penetration, got it, Merchant. You talked about when she's locked in, she is good. Sanogo, couple of pump fakes, didn't force it. Shavers for 3. Love pulls down her first rebound of the ball game. Love the scoop. Jada Wynn, good defense. Sanogo the rebound.
Sanogo has been all over the glass tonight, and that's where they've kind of been hurt, is Lily Love attacking the rim at the post, at the guard position all night long.
Jasmine Shavers, no. Bailey Maupin follows, and she goes to double figures. Talk about Sanogo. She's got 5 rebounds. Her season high is 7. We still have more than a half to play. Tech has hit 5 of their last 7 field goal attempts. That'll be a travel.
Whoops. I'm surprised they let them play on with that, Ozzy, because I saw that happen in real life, but I didn't want to say anything.
That's Julie Kromenhoek, who was a great player for Utah. And you look, Mike Forsberg's over here in front of us just kind of laughing. Mai was an outstanding player at Hawaii. So we've got 2 former guards that are now officials here today.
And they do a great job.
Oh.
I don't know that I've ever seen that happen.
No, and I cannot wait to give Julie Kromenhoek a little grief. Whistle and a foul, says Mai Forsberg. Foul's going to be called on Gigi Cook. Now watch Jada Wynn come over. As soon as she came over to the bench to sit down and get a little bit of a rest, Brenna Ellis, the trainer, starts pumping her with more
I'm sure
fluids.
They're keeping her hydrated.
Yeah. Bristow lost it into the hands of Love. Love may have gotten away with a little bit of a push. Possession arrow will belong to Texas Tech. I saw a little chicken wing there.
I know, a little bit. I think she got away with, but I love that once they get to conference play, they let them play a little bit. It's a physical game.
Which is what you and I talked at the beginning of the season when everything was being called. That'll be a whistle and a foul down on the baseline. But you had mentioned, I think it was probably our second or third game of the season, that it's going to change once conference play starts.
Right. Right. It is a physical game, especially at this level. And you've got to let them, you got to let these players play a little bit, get into some flow. When you're calling every little thing, it's not fun for anybody, the players or the fans.
No, it isn't. Here's where Texas Tech has the advantage, and you touched on it briefly, the fact that they can substitute pretty much 13 players.
Right, you know, and if it's not your night tonight, then it's going to be somebody else who's ready to come off the bench and step up.
That's going to be a whistle and a foul. That'll be on Cook, and I think that was a three-point shot by Maupin.
Take a look at it here off the little handoff there, trying to get out and contest. Just didn't let her land.
Now Cook, that'll pick up her second personal foul. Ashley Chevalier is going to come into the ball game, and Cook's going to have to go out.
That's a rule I think they need to adopt in the college game, is the landing space foul that we have in the W, because it is a dangerous play to come down on somebody. You can sprain an ankle, you know, you can really get hurt. So that's one rule I would like to see the college game adopt.
Absolutely, because it can be very serious consequences. Well, the last two games for Bailey Maupin, she's averaged 23 points. First time this season she's had back-to-back 20-point games. Last year, she was third in the Big 12 in free throw percentage. A little down this season. But the last two games, she shot 30 free throw attempts. 18 the last game versus Lamar.
She just has such the ability to get herself to the foul line and be physical. And, you know, looking at her frame, you wouldn't guess that, but she is just sneaky good getting to the rim.
You talk about being physical. That's what Blair did to Blacklock on that last drive. Blacklock able to hold on to it. Tech has hit 5 of their last 7 as we go inside of 2:40 to play here in the half.
That's what I love about Bailey Maupin, too. They didn't have anything developing. She let them space the floor, let people get out so she could get in that pick and roll, and then goes and hits a 3.
Bailey Maupin's got 14.
But she was just patient and let people get back to their spots and get back to their spacing.
59 double-digit games in her career for Bailey Maupin, and the lead goes to 5. They've led by 7. Houston has led by 6. Love on the drive. That's going to be a charge. We have seen Adley Blacklock do that a number of times this season.
She has. She has been willing to sacrifice her body, stepping over to help. And again, in the college game, that circle doesn't mean anything anymore. It's got to be in the cylinder. So she stepped over and was there, took that charge.
Taking one for the team. Adley Blacklock, of course, a big addition to this team from right here in Lubbock. Came over from Oregon State, and she's superstitious. Every game she's going to come over and give us a fist bump. She has been so sweet, but she's so excited that she actually is home for Christmas.
Right. It's going to be pretty special for her to play in front of her family here at home. And she's already home for Christmas when everybody else has got to travel today.
and her family is here in mass today, as a matter of fact. Shot clock at 8. Fritz having another outstanding game. 3 to shoot. Adley launches. Sanogo had it. Freelon's got it. Bailey again. Got it! That's a 3.
Threes are the best time to shoot off of offensive rebounds. That is the best time to shoot threes. Bailey was spotted up and ready, and her teammates found her. 17
points in the opening half for Bailey Maupin as we go inside of 1:15 to play. Ogman on the drive, has to give it up. Sanogo, not today! And now Blair tries to get in Bailey Maupin's face. Coach Huey comes out and pushes Blair out of the way. Now they're going to have to decide. They're going to have to decide what happened. We're going to have to look at that again. I mean, there was a tie-up, obviously, you'll see. After the rejection, nice job by Sarah Sanogo.
Forced a defensive foul on Texas Tech number 5. The play is on review for an altercation following the whistle.
And then they tie up. And then Merchant took exception of it. 𝗿𝗲𝗱𝘆 just kind of walked in, and then Blair got in her face. Coach Huey, great job. He can't afford to lose his #1 star. And now the officials are going to go over and take a review of that. You know, Brandy, I'm not sure exactly what happened on that, but the officials are going to have to take a look. It looked like Blair, she didn't do anything, though. She kind of came at 𝗿𝗲𝗱𝘆 as we look at it again. After the rejection by Sanogo.
Right. Going for the ball there. Now Danae's got her hands on the ball. Oh, that was Merchant. I think just a little competitive jawing.
Yeah.
Like okay, now.
Yeah, that's where she jumped in.
At that point, you just got to get your teammates, and like it gets competitive, it gets heated, right? You know, they're probably talking a little trash, but at that point, you just got to get your teammates and separate. You can't go jump in and escalate anything. I don't think that was anything egregious, but yeah.
Carl Lewis, the great track star and Olympian, who's now down in Houston, he would have been pleased with the sprint that Coach Huey had. If there was a record for a 10-yard sprint, I think Coach Huey just set the Olympic record for that.
I'm sorry I missed that.
He bolted. He was outstanding. But Sanogo, that's her second block of the game. She's got 26 on this season. Third of the Big 12 coming into this weekend as far as blocks are concerned. And two of the best officials with Julie Kromenhoek and Mai Forsberg, they're going to make sure they've been in this position as players. They understand the intensity.
Right.
You know, Coach Huey knew that you cannot afford to lose anybody.
No, you cannot.
And they're going to take their time looking at it. Of course, both teams will take a break. After today, Texas Tech, when they come back, they've got a very difficult schedule on the 1st and the 4th of January. They've got to be at Arizona State and at Kansas State as we look at it one more time. Good block by Sanogo.
Excellent block. She just gets tied up there. I don't know if she wanted a foul. At some point she traveled.
Danae Fritz did not even. If there was an all-smirk team, I think Danae just won that.
Right. I think they were trying to, the officials did a really good job de-escalating that quickly.
Yes.
So after review, we still have the bonus 2 free throws for Houston, number 2, which is what stopped playing. Following the whistle, number 14 for Houston comes in and bumps Texas Tech players, and she will be assessed an intentional foul. After the 2 shots for the free throw, for the bonus with no lineup, Texas Tech will shoot two free throws on the other end. Anyone will shoot and retain possession of the ball at midcourt with 30 on the shot clock. Both are team fouls.
So there was a foul called, obviously, against Texas Tech, and Layla Blair gets called for the technical foul.
Yeah, I think just when she stepped in and kind of, once they got Merchant and Danae away from each other, she stepped in and was kind of continuing things. And so just at that point, walk away. I do appreciate she had her teammates back, but, you know, at that point, like...
We appreciate Julie Kromenhoek coming over and making sure we got all the information. Bottom line, first we're going to have free throws being shot. That'll be by Merchant, as she was fouled down to play. You know, but you and I have talked over the last 2 years. I think it's probably the last 2 years. 3 years ago, they were a little more feisty, this Texas Tech team, but we were kind of looking for, as one of my former broadcast partners, Doug Collins, used to say, a little booger out of this Texas Tech team. We saw it there.
Right.
We haven't seen that a whole lot.
Right. To have a little bit of edge to them, you know, some that competitive fire. I like it. I think Danae does have that. And I thought we're starting to see that more and more as she gets used to this new team.
Now we're going to go down and shoot the technicals with 𝗿𝗲𝗱𝘆, who already has 17 first half points. And only 2 for 4 from the line for 𝗿𝗍. 𝗿𝗍, an 83% free throw shooter for her career. And Tech increases their lead to 7. The biggest they've had is 8. And Tech will have the basketball. But how about 𝗿𝗍 18 points coming off back-to-back 20-plus point games.
She has been fantastic so far this game, and I love that she has really stepped up over these last handful of games.
Final 65 seconds. Here's Maupin. Waits for the double to clear out. Maupin on the drive. No. Rebound pulled away by Merchant. And another 94-foot foul. But Tech sets up their press. Tech only 2 turnovers here in the second after having 9 in that opening 10 minutes. They force Houston into 9. Here comes Blair. 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍 has to give it up. Blacklock the rebound. Here's Maupin. 6-second difference, shot of the game clock. Maupin working on Augmon. Sanogo lost the handle, got it back, got it. Sarah Sanogo goes in double figures with 10. Houston, no field goals over the last 3 minutes with 3. No. Rebound belongs to Tech with 0.3 of a second left. How about Sarah Sanogo, though, going in double figures? That is the 3rd time she's hit double figures and the first since game 2 versus New Mexico. So Texas Tech, they hold Houston without a field goal over the final 3:06.
From the second quarter, can they take care of the basketball? They played that whole 10 minutes with only 2 turnovers. That's fantastic.
And Tech will have the basketball. 𝗿𝗍 Maupin that first half, 18 points. Count the basket. We got a foul.
Well, a foul right out of the rack is probably not what you're looking for to start the quarter. I do like Jasmine Shaver's aggressiveness to the rim, but Ashley 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍 knows better than anyone Jasmine Shaver's strength, so she stood there and took that offensive foul.
Ashley 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍, you talk about what she did for Texas Tech while she was here. Defense was her calling card. She's averaging a career high points per game this season at over 4. But mainly she was known as defense.
Right, and she was an incredible on-ball defender, could really disrupt people. I love watching her defend in the open court.
Merchant on the drive. Not only is she an outstanding scorer, she leads the team in blocks with 13 coming into the game and 27 steals. Now Texas Tech's lead cut down to 7. Sanogo sets the pick and rolls, kind of lost the spacing on that. Jordan Merritt buries the 3. That was needed for her. The last 3 games, only 2 points.
Right, really good ready shooter there. 𝗿𝗍 Maupin's gonna find you. She does a really good job. Again, they split that hedge on the ball screen, was able to get in, grab some penetration, pull her defense in, and kick her for the open 3.
Sanogo putting some defense, but McFarland just powers her way through.
Not surprised to see Houston go inside to McFarland first possession of this second quarter, or of the second half, because that's what Huey talked about, was establishing her inside. She finishes at such a good clip, at 55% clip. When she gets the ball in the paint, she can really score. She only had 2 shot attempts in that first half.
Right, and you kind of touched on it, what Coach Huey told us this morning. He says we've got to go to her early and get her involved in the offense. He also talked about having consistent energy in the game today.
Right. And she just couldn't quite get going in the first half, so I think they're going to go to her early and often here in this second half.
Again, this is a team that lost Avalon Miller to an Achilles, Malaya Johnson to ACL, Poole also ACL. All 3 of those players lost for the year. But Chewy telling us today he's never had 2 ACLs in a season. Merritt again for three. 𝗿𝗲𝗱𝘆 can't get the rebound. Throw it away. Shavers floats it with a right hand. 𝗲𝗱 pulls it away.
Those are three really good players. 𝗀𝗃𝗄𝗃 has Final Four experience. You know, she's been at Ohio State. She's been at LSU. She knows how to win. That would have been a huge addition to this team.
Sanogo. Did she walk with it?
She did.
Yes, she did.
But again, I love that they got her on the pocket pass rolling out of that hedge. But again, Houston has really good backside help defense, and Merchant was there creating that travel.
Again, go back and look at the history of Coach Huey. His teams have always been built on defense, and you mentioned 94 feet of heat. But when you only have 7 or 8 players, it's a little difficult to have that.
No, but their half-court defense has been just as good.
Absolutely. Sanogo had it, lost it. Blair with another possession.
It's one of the few offensive rebounds that Tech has given up so far this game.
I'll tell you, Blair is so physical when she goes to the right.
She is, and that's the player I would keep an eye on down the stretch. If anybody's going to put this team on her back, it's going to be Layla Blair.
Now she's got 17 in the ball game. Here's Shavers. Chevalier on her. Fritz has been hot. Rebound pulled away by Love out of Kansas City. Sanogo with a rebound. That is number 7. Having her most complete game since the beginning of the year, Sarah Sanogo of Tech. 𝗲𝗱𝗆𝗆 hesitates, throws it up. No, Sanogo can't get it. Rebound pulled away by Merchant.
They're just sitting in the paint, too, on that backside help, ready to rotate out of the pick and roll. I think the skip pass to the corner has been wide open.
Merritt got a piece of it. Here comes 𝗿𝗲𝗱𝗆𝗆. Tech has missed their last 4 shots. Counted for Sanogo.
This is where Tech was so successful in the first half, too, is running and scoring in transition off of turnovers and off of defensive rebounds.
Sanogo has a dozen in the ballgame. That ties her season high and her career high. Got that against Houston Christian. Merritt reaching over. 𝗿𝗲𝗆𝗆𝗆 will come back into the lineup. Sarah Sanogo is going to go out. I tell you, I like what Sanogo's doing in this game.
I do too. She has been all over the glass. She's been aggressive defensively. She's protected the rim, which I think has been a good surprise for them, her ability to block shots.
She's been a very pleasant surprise. They knew she had a lot of talent, Sarah Sanogo. But Krista Gerlich telling us yesterday she's done a little more than what they thought she would do. Augment from the outside. No, shot clock goes off. But Houston will retain possession with 6:01 to play in the quarter.
I like this adjustment, though, of going to the 2-3 zone, giving them a different look. One, because Houston's been getting to the rim at will against them, and it's kind of slowed them down, forcing them to pass around the perimeter, you know, and then keeping them out of foul trouble a little bit, and forcing them into outside shots where Houston's only made 1 3-point shot today.
Oh, this has been a difficult non-conference schedule for Houston, but December has been a lot better than November for him. Here is Fritz on the drive. Got it. Danae goes to double figures with 10.
I think she did get her on that one, but Danae Fritz, I've been surprised at how good she has been at blocking shots as a guard. Excellent job there, just coming up with it, turning on the Jets, getting herself to the rim. Good job by Houston, though, just running by, not fouling that, giving her an even extra shot.
This is Danae Fritz's first double-figure game since 2003.
Well, if she's going to have a little coming out party scoring the ball, this is the time to do it at the start of Big 12 play.
You know, we at the risk of sounding redundant, we've talked about it a number of games this season, but 2.5 hours before game time, Danae Fritz is out here shooting threes. She goes through a specific routine. She's very focused during that routine, and we don't see her miss a whole lot.
Right. No, and she proved even her freshman year, redshirt freshman year at Iowa State, that she could really score the basketball. And I think Coach Gerlich and her staff has done a good job. They've moved her more off the ball, too, where she's a little bit more comfortable. And her and 𝗿𝗲𝗱𝘆 kind of sharing time at the point guard position, getting them into plays. So moving her off the ball a little bit, I think, has been good.
Maya Pete may have gotten away with a big-time shoulder, lost the handle. Houston will have it. That'll get McFarland back into the lineup for Houston.
Maya Pete's got to be able to finish those, and she's just going to see bigger and stronger post players going into Big 12 play. She's got to be physical and turn and finish that high above those defenders and take that contact.
I mean, you think she's going to go against Sedona Prince, who's having an incredible year for TCU,
right?
And then 𝗿𝗏𝗱𝗆 at Kansas State. You got some bigs coming your way that you're going to have to finish. 𝗿𝗏𝗱𝗆. Let me take that 5 out of your wallet and give you some change.
Ooh, she almost got another one.
Sneaky, quick, 𝗿𝗏𝗱𝗆.
Such good hands, and they've done such a good job disrupting Houston today.
11 20-point games for 𝗿𝗏𝗱𝗆, her 4th this season. She's now 11 points away from 1,000 for her career. She may get it today.
I know.
Augmon, no, whistle and a foul. How about 𝗿𝗏𝗱𝗆, though? She's got 20 points in the ball game, but Brandy, she's doing everything else with 6 assists and a steal.
Just quick hands, taking that ball, again, taking it all the way to the rim. They've been so good in transition today, and it has started with 𝗿𝗏𝗱𝗆.
That is the star so far this afternoon, 𝗿𝗏𝗱𝗆.
She has been efficient tonight, going 7 of 12 for the field for her 20 points, 3 of 4 from the arc, 3 of 5 from the foul line. Got 4 rebounds for them, 3 of them on the offensive side of the ball, which is fantastic for a guard. But the big one for me is 6 assists. And we talked about this in the open, that even though her scoring has gone up, her assists have also gone up. So she impacts so much of this Lady Raider offense. 3
straight 20-point games now for the junior out of Groover, Texas, who's already graduated last Saturday. Did it in 2.5 years. Unbelievable. And cum laude, by the way.
Maybe that's why she's been playing so well. She's got that, like that relief off her shoulders of being done with school for a few weeks.
Yeah, well, a lot of players were saying that to me yesterday. They go,
right.
Now we can just go back to our apartments and kind of relax.
Right.
Leilani Augmon had a very famous cousin. Stacey Augmon was an outstanding player at UNLV. 16-year career in the NBA, even won an Olympic gold medal. Watching her practice yesterday and the way she plays defense, that was Stacey's calling card.
Runs in the family.
Yes, it does. I was doing the Hawks when he played for them, and great player. Here's Pete inside. Here's where she has to finish. Not able to do it.
Yeah, she just left that short. Be long. Get that up on the top of the glass. Give it a chance to fall into the basket.
Biggest lead of the game for Texas Tech was 11. It's 10 now. Over 3:45 without a field goal for Houston. And a whistle and a foul.
I thought that was pretty good defense. That was a little bit of a cheap one there.
Yeah.
A little bit of a hand check on the ball handler, but Jordan Merritt was there prepared, not letting them get any corners turned.
Foul was on Merritt. That's her 3rd personal foul, so Jada Wynn's going to come back into the lineup. Jordan Merritt, though, has done a nice job in her time on the court today. And if they want to be successful in the Big 12, you have players like Jordan Merritt, Jalen Bristow that have to step up.
Right. They're versatile players that can shoot the ball. They can guard multiple positions. They can rebound.
At the line, Gigi Cook, Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Started her career at Maryland. 18 points in her last game after sitting out a game. She has the ability to score 3 times this season. Gigi Cook has led the team in points. Lead down to 9, whistle and a foul. That's going to be a little elbow.
But good aggressive take down the foul line there by Jasmine Shavers against Summer Bostock, putting pressure on her to defend, got right down the lane line, went right at the rim.
And Jasmine Shavers will be at the line shooting a couple. Jazz only 4 points in the ball game.
But we all know Jasmine Shavers has the ability to really score in bunches, so I expect to see her take off here in the second half. And if she stays aggressive like that, getting herself to the rim, then she's going to put some points on the board.
I mean, think about it. You have the lead, but yet Jasmine Shavers is not having one of her better games as far as scoring is concerned. Bailey Maupin again. She's that little bug at a picnic, isn't she? You know, that you just can't get rid of.
She has,
or as my relatives would say, me. That'll be the 12th turnover for the Cougars. Down by 11. They have hit a scoring drought of over 4 minutes. Maupin, not a great pass inside. Possession arrow belongs to Houston.
It's the interior post passing again that's given them a little trouble today.
Good
You've
point.
got Jada Wynn playing small down at the 4 and trying to get it into her to take advantage of that mismatch. But just that, we've seen a couple of turnovers today just on that simple guard post passing.
And they spend so much time on it in practice. I mean, you and I have the opportunity, and Kristen has been so kind to let us come to all the practices. And they spend so much time just working on that. And people think that's easy, but
Right.
it really isn't. Pete poked it away. Maupin looks up for Shavers. Maupin says, I got it, can't finish it. And a whistle and a foul. And that's going to go on Gigi Cook.
But I love her tempo. She's pushing the ball up the floor at a good pace. She has her eyes up looking. And Maya Pete was posting up, keeping McFarling away from her so that Bailey Maupin could get herself to the rim.
Cook picks up her third personal foul. Blair is going to go out. Cook's going to stay in the ball game. Logan Johnson is checked back in for the Lady Raiders.
That was just a little bit of miscommunication because they had Shavers on the backside. I know. Well, I watched that all happen, and they just overthrew Pete when she was going out to get it. And those are the little miscues that just like a quick lack of focus for whatever reason, and they just don't connect on an easy, wide open pass.
I think the word you were looking, and you hit it on the head, focus. And Krista Gerla came off her chair like a rocket on that.
Right, because those are the easy turnovers. Like, you can forgive some turnovers when you're being aggressive in transition, right? Or you're being aggressive defensively, but those are just the silly ones that you can get away, that you can get rid of.
Ashley Chevalier, nice drive from the left side, gets her first field goal of the ball game. By the way, got a second. Want to wish Bryn Gerlich and her husband, Peyton, coming back from their honeymoon. They were married a long time ago, but school got in the way, and they're on their way back from Mexico. Can't see the game. I'm sure they'll watch the replay. Congratulations. Hope you two enjoyed it. Now, Coach Gerlich didn't like what she saw. She's going to call a 30-second timeout. And with that, 2:30 to play here in quarter number 3 in the Lady Raiders. Well, with WNBA coach Brandy Poole, I'm Ron Thula. Welcome back to Lubbock, Texas. Beautiful December day as we head to the Christmas holiday break. 51-42 is the score. Texas Tech on top of the Cougars. One thing Texas Tech has done this year is force turnovers. 6 of the last 9 games, they have forced at least 20 turnovers. And you can see they're second in the Big 12 in that category.
Right, and they turn that into 23 points off turnovers too. So that's a big part of their offense, is being able to disrupt people, get deflections, get steals, and turn them into offense.
Now, Coach Gerlich, she is not letting anything slide by with this team. They're close to being very, very good.
Right, and that's why she called that timeout. There was some stuff they needed to talk about. Ooh!
Ooh. Cook goes down hard, got it in the face, and that ends up with Logan Johnson getting her first field goal.
Yeah, I didn't see anything egregious there on Logan Johnson's post-up, but Maya Pete's got to see her quicker.
Absolutely. Logan Johnson, career high 16 in that Lamar game. She was outstanding. Shared the Lady Raider dominator with Danae Fritz. The bounce, no. Maupin the rebound.
Yeah, I think that was a glimpse of what's ahead for Logan Johnson. We've talked about what she brings to this team off the bench, the spark she brings, especially defensively. But as her offense continues to get better and better, it's great.
Jasmine Shavers had a great look at it, can't get it. Love pulls away the rebound.
Jazz just struggling today, 1 of 7 from the field. They've got to get her going, but you know, that's where she's grown as a player too, knowing that she can bring other things, her defense, her rebounding, when it's not her night to score.
Love with the scoop. Pete got a piece of her, and that'll send Love to the line to shoot a couple of free throws. Now just got the hand in there. Pete's going to go out. 𝗀𝗲𝗱𝘆 will check back into the lineup for the Lady Raiders.
Well, that's the mismatch that Houston has really taken advantage of tonight, is 𝗲𝗲 Love when they're small and going against Maya Pete and just attacking her off the bounce.
𝗲𝗲 Love, first 3 years at Georgia Tech, she started a lot. She started 31 games her sophomore year. Talk about a player with experience. Freshman year, played in the NCAA tournament when Georgia Tech got to the Sweet 16. Well, you could tell she's got some pedigree. Last 3 games, she's averaged 16 points and 13 rebounds.
Just a nice, versatile player for them. Good length, can play the guard, can play the 4 position. They've even gone small with their numbers and played her at the 5. So just really brings them good versatility.
Augman comes out on Maupin. Maupin 20 points in the ball game. Jada Wynn for 3, halfway down, rebound 𝗿𝗏𝗱𝗆.
But that's the shot in the corner that they should be looking for all year, because they slipped out of that screen when they were hedging. The defense had come off of Jada Wynn in that corner to help on the roller and the slip, and it has been wide open. That's the shot that they need to be looking for.
And that's the shot that they can hit, too.
Right.
But again, our 4th 94-foot foul against Texas Tech, which will send 𝗿𝗏𝗱𝗆 down to the line.
Yeah, one of Krista's keys was defending without fouling, and they've done a pretty good job of that up until this quarter, and then just putting them on the foul line a little too much here in this 3rd quarter.
I'm talking to Coach Huey, talking about how even last year telling us that 𝗿𝗏𝗱𝗆's got to establish herself in the paint. Love to have seen the house where Peyton grew up, because she has a twin brother, Vincent. I wonder how the one-on-one battles went.
They were probably pretty fun.
Exactly. It's like talking to Cheryl and Reggie Miller. They went at each other, those two.
Made each other better, too.
Yes, they did. Cheryl made Reggie better.
Exactly.
I'm sticking up for Cheryl. Here's Bailey to the hole, off the glass, 22 for Bailey Maupin.
Nice backdoor cut, and that's what you want to do when people get aggressive defensively. But again, Houston's help was there. 𝗿𝗏𝗱𝗆 had rotated over. Bailey Maupin had really good body control, was able to rise up and finish that over her really beautifully.
25 is her season high, 27 career. Into the hands of Wim. Shot clock turned off, final 25 seconds here in the 3rd. Johnson, nice pass inside. Freelong, left hand, got it.
It's a good thing they scored that, because I wanted them to pull the ball out and take the last shot and not give them an extra opportunity. But I'll take the bucket.
The hand gestures by Brandy Poole during that were slow down, slow down, slow down.
Coaching never leaves you.
Here's Cook, splits the defense. That prayer will not be answered. Texas Tech only outscoring Houston by 2 in that 3rd quarter, but Bailey Maupin having been able to do today is take the basketball and score on fast break points. 16 fast break points so far in the ball game for the Lady Raiders.
And I think that's how they really want to play. Beautiful, good job there. So Houston has been hedging all game long, right? Bailey Maupin, the other way to do that besides splitting is to attack the hip of the big. And when she did that, she was able to get downhill right down the lane line for a layup.
13-point lead. That's the biggest of the ball game. Bailey Maupin, 1 off her season high of 25. On the drive, Augman, that was pretty with the right hand.
Leilani Augman's been such a good surprise for this Cougar team. She plays with such a high motor. She's had 2 consecutive double-doubles coming into this game. Just been a really good spark for them off the bench.
Well, she can score, she can defend, and Coach is telling us she's got a great mindset for this team. Here's Wynn. Shot clock at 7. Logan Johnson, nice pass. 𝗀𝗲𝗱𝘆 inside. How did Logan get her the basketball?
I don't even think 𝗀𝗲 saw it at first. So it's lucky she was able to scoop that up and score that.
Logan Johnson's second assist of the game. The progression that the sophomore from Houston has made this year has been noticeable. Love, pull up, no. Rebound, Wynn poked it away, end up in the hands of 𝗲𝗲. 𝗲𝗲, a career high rebounds per game this season. Blair's going to back it out. They show the double. 𝗀𝗲, nice job.
Good
with all
trap.
that length.
Excellent trap there on 𝗀𝗲, because I was just about to say, Tech's got to be careful with giving them second chance opportunities, because they've done a good job of that so far.
Well, they had to call a timeout. There's 2.9 on the shot clock, and it's going to be a full timeout with 8:15 left to play in the ball game. Look at one of the best players, Texas Tech recent history. Remember, Scott on the left, that is Katie Cat Carroll on the right. Katie, of course, played for Krista Gerlich at UTA. You talk about toughness, throw Bryn Gerlich in there. You had three incredibly tough players.
Right, they were fantastic, and I love to see young alumni back in the building. Kat Farrell coaching locally here at a high school in Lubbock, and then Amber Scott leaves again next week to go back overseas to the Czech Republic, still playing. So I love that for both of them. Still impacting the game.
Absolutely, it's great to see Bree. Actually has worked out with the team a little bit the last couple of days, just running and everything else. And you know, Kat Farrell, though, she put the capital C in charge.
Yeah.
I mean, she took more charges than anybody.
Right, and talk about versatility. She was that true point forward that could bring it up and play the point guard as really a power forward. I loved watching Big Cat play.
Texas Tech leads by 13, inside of 8 to play in the ball game. Johnson gets away with a little left arm, chicken wing, and got it.
She's just been so much more aggressive these last handful of games, looking for her offense, and it shows.
Fritz almost forces the turnover. And Coach Gerlich and I were talking yesterday. I said, you know, when I watched that Lamar game back, I thought Logan Johnson can do that every game. She has the talent and the ability.
Absolutely.
Lead is 15. Oh, the pick of the pocket. Shavers inside. She is going to be fouled. But not before Tech gets their 7th steal of the ball game. They average about 11 a game.
But you love to see that, right? Jasmine has struggled tonight shooting the ball, but to get up and play good defense, go get a steal and a deflection and get herself to the foul line. That's how you get yourself back going.
𝗲𝗲's going to go out. Gigi Cook, who's been playing with 3 personal fouls, will come back into the lineup. And here is Jazz Shavers. 20 points away from 1,000 in her career. And went over the 100 assist mark in today's game for her career. And the lead is 16. Outside of that final 5 minutes of the opening quarter, Texas Tech, for the most part, except for that play, has played quite well. Cook on the drive.
They have. That was just a high ball screen where Gigi Cook was able to get the corner turn and get down the lane line, and there was no help coming from anywhere.
Gigi Cook, last 2 games, double figures, 52% shooting. The turnover. The 3. 𝗀𝗲𝗱𝘆, no.
Oh, she must have pushed off on that, because I thought that was a pretty good rebound from my angle.
Well, it was a good rebound, except the person next to her was laying on the ground. It'll be a foul on 𝗀𝗲𝗱𝘆. Here is Blair. 7 points in the ball game. Has taken her 9 shots for that. She's had kind of a tough day with 5 turnovers this afternoon.
Excellent defense, switching out there by Logan Johnson. That was excellent, because Gigi Cook was about to get down that lane line, and Logan Johnson was right there, forced another travel.
And Sarah Sanogo will come back into the lineup, but that shows you the maturity that we've seen in Logan Johnson defensively this year.
Right. Just a smart player defensively and so physical.
Here's Maupin. Closing in on 1,000 points. Can't get it. Boy, look at Love run the floor. They didn't see her. She beat everybody down. McFarland, no. Into the hands of 𝗿𝗍𝗱𝘆 Fritz.
But because Tech does such a good job of picking the ball up so early, it didn't even give Houston an opportunity to look up the floor and see her teammate.
Bailey Maupin drains the three. 27 points for Bailey Maupin. That ties her career high. She got that back in 2022 versus Mercer. And Bailey Maupin now just 4 points away from 1,000 for her career. 𝗍𝗍𝗱𝘆 Fritz with a rejection. That's her second block of the ball game.
Well, you see Bailey Maupin and 𝗍𝗍𝗱𝘆 Fritz, who are veterans in this league. They understand stepping up your game in Big 12 play, and both of them have done that really, really well today.
And I think you and I are especially pleased for 𝗍𝗍𝗱𝘆. I mean, the last couple of games, she has really upped her game.
Right, she's been fantastic, and they haven't been able to take her off the floor today. And we saw again where she got a foul earlier in the game on that same block. She was able to rise up and cleanly block that shot.
Logan Johnson did not want to commit the foul, just let Blair get the easy two. But the lead is still 15. The big drama now, can Bailey Maupin get her 1,000th point? Just 4 points away from that mark. In the corner, Logan for three. No, Fritz had it, lost it. Tied up again. Second time today Fritz has been in a tied up ball situation. Possession arrow, though, will belong to Houston. You know, and as a coach, you've been coaching a long time. You started when you were 3 years old, but you've been coaching a long time. Those little things you like seeing, just tying up a ball.
Right. Just the aggressiveness, staying in attack mode, doing all those little things. And those hustle plays are what ultimately makes the difference down the stretch of close games. Those are the plays that win you ball games, extra possessions.
No place to go for Love. Shavers, and they turn it over again. 17th turnover for the Cougars. Oh, little French pastry. Maupin can't finish. Sanogo can't finish. Johnson can't finish. McFarland does.
Oh, that would have been a beautiful assist.
Wow.
I'm sure Bailey wanted to give her that nice pass there in transition after creating that turnover and running. They were relentless on the glass, just getting extra opportunities. They just weren't able to get them to finish.
Bailey Maupin just knows, I wish I had that one back.
That's probably the easiest shot she's taken all night.
Absolutely. Couldn't get it. Nice pass, though, from Shavers. The Logman was going to come in. They held her out. 4:49 to play. The lead is 15. Tech has missed their last 4 field goal attempts. Tech trying to go 1-0 in conference play, making the second year in a row they began Big 12 play, winning the opening game. Oh, my. McFarland knocks over Maupin, then gets the two. McFarland goes to double figures.
She was there early. I don't know if it was, I can't see from my angle if that was offensive or not, but Bailey Maupin was there before she got that catch.
I think so, too. And Bailey Maupin is probably a lot less size, we'll say, than McFarland. And a whistle and a foul. That's going to go to Houston. Here it is again.
See that coming in. Bailey is there. Ooh, probably was a foul on Bailey to start, honestly. But, oh, she did lower her shoulder down into her. I don't know. That very easily could have been called an offensive foul as well.
But the foul was called on Love. That is her third personal foul. That'll send Jasmine Shavers to the line. She will shoot a couple. Tech has shot now 6 less free throw attempts than Houston today. Coming into this game, Texas Tech and their opponents had shot the exact same number of free throw attempts. Houston will retain possession. Well, Texas Tech has not opened seasons with back-to-back Big 12 opening night wins since back in 2012-2013. That could change in 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Chevalier. Danae Fritz on her. 4 minutes to play in the fourth. Blair Johnson got that pesky hand in there again.
I love the activity that Tech has been playing defense with tonight. Just active hands. How many deflections and steals have they gotten in just disrupting Houston's offense?
So Blair gives it up to Cook to the hole, and Bailey Maupin will commit the foul.
I think she's going to take that one. I think she got her across the back of the head there.
Now Bailey got her pocket pick. Cook goes down hard. They can't afford to lose her. She's missed a couple of games prior to their last contest.
Good little poke there by Layla Blair. Then they're off and running.
The on-court ruling is a defensive foul on Texas Tech number 20.
She came
The
down
play is
across her
under review
head.
for possible
Now they're
upgrade.
going to take a look at it and see if they're going to upgrade that to a flagrant foul. Julie Cromanhook and my Forsberg over at the monitor. They're going to take a look at it just to be safe. Anytime you have contact above the head or
Right,
above the
across
shoulders,
the
you're gonna
face.
Yeah.
That's an automatic upgrade in the league. I don't know about here. I don't think they'll. She got her pretty good.
She got her pretty good.
She got her pretty good. I wouldn't be shocked if they upgraded that one.
Bailey has one speech she plays at, full.
Right.
You know, I mean, she's not going to back off on that play.
No, not after just getting the ball poked out from her hands.
There's a ticked off factor after that, you know. And
all of us as players have had those frustration fouls where you just want to take it out on somebody else.
Exactly. Now the decision has been made, and we're not going to be surprised if they do upgrade that. By the way, again, Texas Tech, they will return back to Lubbock. I think they said on the 27th before they head to Arizona State on the 1st. That'll be a 5 o'clock game. You can see that on ESPN+. And then at Kansas State on the 4th. That'll also be on ESPN+, and then return
so
home
after review, the personal
against West Virginia and Iowa State back-to-back games.
Necessary contact to the head.
Well, the crowd doesn't like it, but it's the correct call.
I agree. No, the crowd does not like it, but that's not a surprise.
Now Cook is okay, which is good news. And Bailey Maupin now playing coach.
Anyone can shoot, even though 3 got her head taken off. Layla can shoot the free throws. Okay. Yeah, it was easy. She got her head off.
Well, now they're saying anybody can shoot the free throws. I think Blair is going to shoot the free throw. Once again, we do appreciate all the Big 12 officials who spend time talking to us. And I love Katie Farrell giving Mike Forsberg a little bit of grief. Those two always had a good relationship when Katie played, obviously. So Blair's going to shoot the free throw attempts. Texas Tech, for their last 4, haven't hit a field goal over 2.5 minutes. Even though you're up by 15, Texas Tech cannot get sloppy here.
Right, you don't want to give Houston shots at the foul line, free points while the clock is stopped. Got to continue to keep them off the glass, no second chance opportunities.
Right. Think about Texas Tech this year, and you look back, they've had 6 very close games. They've lost a couple of them, but talking to the assistant coaches yesterday and again this morning, they've learned from those games.
Well, and it's showing right now because Tech has had larger leads, and every game they've let the opponent, given them an opportunity in the fourth quarter to come back in that game. So far, they have held off Houston from any big runs to make this a more highly contested game.
Texas Tech has outscored Houston every quarter except the first. But Houston had that big run to end the quarter and lead 17-14 at the end of the first 10. Whistle on another foul. Check that, that's just out of bounds.
I think they thought it should be Tech's basketball. I thought it looked like it too, but ooh, no, probably went off of Saraceno's hands there.
I think so too. Beautiful play inside, in love with the left hand.
Just a little too easy off that flex screen on the baseline.
And Maupin runs the baseline quite well to try to get it open, gets it into the hands of 𝗀𝗃𝗱𝘆. Closing in on 3 minutes to play in regulation. The lead is down to 11. It was 17. And that's going to be Leilani Ogden. Tech will have it side out. The thing about Houston, too, you look at it, they only have one timeout left. If things get a little tight, it's going to be interesting.
Right. He's going to want to save that to use down the stretch if this game gets any closer.
3 team fouls on Houston, also 3 on Texas Tech, or 2 on Texas Tech, I should say. Shavers, no. Rebound, Blair.
Tech needed a good offensive possession there on that to score and take that lead back up a little bit. You don't want to leave this door open for Houston.
Over 3.5 minutes now, Texas Tech has not hit a field goal. They've only hit 1 of their last 7. That's going to be an offensive foul.
This is such a physical matchup between Layla Blair and Logan Johnson. Just a little bit of a push off there, pushing her into the defender. So good call there.
And these two will meet again in Houston. That'll be on January the 22nd. And I think they're going to look at it again.
The on-court ruling is an offensive foul on Houston, number 14. Plays on review for possible upgrade.
I didn't see anything there.
I didn't see anything either.
No, it's a little chicken wing. I don't think that needs to be upgraded.
Well, since all our flights are delayed, we're not going anywhere. So we're just going to enjoy what we're watching here. So they're going to take a look at it one more time. But for Texas Tech, I think you don't want to say the word concern. But knowing Coach 𝗀𝗃𝗱𝘆, and she understands how good this team can possibly be, but not having a field goal over 3.5 minutes. When you play the Kansas States, the Iowa States, the TCU, and go down the line, you can't afford to have those kind of droughts.
Right, and we all know basketball is a game of runs, right? And everybody has as many droughts, but you can't let them get extended and go on one of their last 7. No field goals over the last 32. Those are the ones that can build up, and the other team can go on a run, and all of a sudden they're back in this game.
Texas Tech comes in having led this series 41-15, dating back to the old Southwest Conference days. Having lost at home to Houston since December 4th. That was way back in 2007. And they're trying to extend that streak now with 2:42 to play. And Julie Kromenhoek now calls over Nicole Brennan, and she's going to take a look at make sure everybody's in agreement. I didn't see a whole lot on that play.
No, I didn't either.
But I think if you're Texas Tech, too, you're going to look at a lot of different areas during this break. 36 points in the paint given up to Houston in this game. I don't think that's acceptable to Coach 𝗀𝗃𝗱𝗆.
Right, one, I think that's been all, obviously they don't have it. They have Peyton McFarland in the post. Has had only 3 of 5 tonight. It's been all the guards just attacking off the bounce and getting pieces of the paint and finishing. And, Chris has talked about all year long, guarding your own. You've got to have good team defense, yes, but you've got to be able to guard your own, and they have the athletes to do that and have good one-on-one defense. And tonight, the Cougars have won that battle tonight.
Here's my Forsberg.
So after review, the ruling on the board has been upgraded to an intentional foul for unnecessary contact to the head. Since this is the second intentional foul on Houston number 14, Layla Blair, she will be ejected from the game.
They must have had a different angle because they said to the head, because it didn't look like.
Well, Blair got a technical earlier in this ball game.
Wow.
Wow. We didn't expect that.
I did not expect that. I kind of expected Bailey's to be upgraded. For her to be ejected over that, I'm not sure that was warranted. But then again, it's not my job to make that decision, thankfully.
Now, Gigi Cook is still pleading her case to the officials. But Blair's going to have to go to the locker room. Yeah.
She flung the elbow there.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, you couldn't see that from the other angle, but her arm was in Logan Johnson's neck and then pushed off. So that was where the upgrade came from.
Ty Dillard is going to have to escort her out. Ty, of course, was an outstanding player for Jody Conrad at the University of Texas.
That's tough for any player because I don't believe by any means that Layla Bear did that intentionally.
No.
She was just playing and competing. Probably didn't even realize that her arm was in her neck to extend there. So unfortunately, you hate to see that for any of these players, especially in a competitive game that's going down to the wire. But
Bailey Maupin, a new career high 28 points, now just 3 away from 1,000 for her career. And the lead is extended to a dozen. So Blair leaves the ball game for Houston. That is a big loss because this game was not over. Blair leads with 11 points and 4 rebounds.
And she's one of their best scorers, just so strong and physical on both ends of the floor. So that is going to hurt them not having her on the floor down the stretch of this game.
McFarland's jumped out. Here is Shavers. Shavers, nice move. Chevalier goes down. Shavers makes her pay.
She may have gotten away with a little chicken wing there herself, but then at least stepped up and made that bucket. And she's needed that to see one go through the net.
Thanks to 8 free throw attempts, Jasmine Shavers now has 11 points, but only 2 field goals made. Ashley Chevalier in and out. Rebound, Jazz Shavers.
Excellent rebound. That's what they've got to do. They got to have every defensive rebound down the stretch here. And now the clock is on their side. Work. Let's get a good possession.
I wonder if anybody on Texas Tech bench realizes that Bailey's only 3 away from 1,000. You want to do it at home.
That would be nice.
That would be good. Shot clock at 6. Logan Johnson saw the opening, took it, got it!
Fantastic finish by Logan Johnson. Just again, looking for her opportunities to score. Tough finishes around the rim. She is going to be a special player.
5 of the last 6 games now, Texas Tech has gone over 70 points. That's good news. Cook gets bumped by Bailey Maupin with 1:17 to play. And the lead is 16.
You see Gigi Cook again. This is where she's been so good in that high ball screen at the top of the tunnel. Just getting her shoulders past her defender, down lane lines, aggressively getting herself to the rim and to the foul line.
How many do you think of Gigi Cook? Again, you mentioned she didn't play last year back in 2023. She played 25 games for Maryland and averaged over 5 points a ball game. Brenda Freese is an outstanding recruiter / basketball coach. You play for her, you're all right.
Right.
Cook's got 11. Cook has 12. They've got 5 to get it over the timeline, and they do with Bailey Maupin. Maupin, oh, you could have stepped back. Sanogo, who has played very well today, lost the handle, and it'll belong to Houston.
And had Bailey in the corner.
I thought she was going to take that step back and let it fly.
She probably doesn't even realize right now.
No.
She's just enmeshed in this ball game.
Inside of a minute to play. So Texas Tech, 2nd year in a row, will open Big 12 play with a win. Ogman's going to be fouled.
I think that Tech has done a pretty decent job of meeting their keys tonight. They wanted to come out and be in attack mode and set the tone. And I really do think they did that, especially the first 5 minutes. Kind of got a little wonky there in the end of the first quarter and then got back on track in the second quarter and hasn't looked back. Defended without fouling, a little bit better in the first half, taking care of the basketball. Again, much better job in the second half of this game, taking care of the basketball.
Absolutely. 4 of 5 starters for Texas Tech are in double figures. Here's Maupin, a new career high tonight of 28 points. People next to us yelling 3-ball, Bailey. Jazz will launch the 3. No, Fritz had it.
Pull it out.
Got it back, pulled it out, back to Bailey. And Chris is going to call a timeout. Oh, I think you and I saw that coming.
But, you know, I wouldn't be shocked if she doesn't run something for Bailey here to get a shot at, just to see if she can get it here in front of the home crowd.
Looking up in the stands, I can see her family sitting up there. And they are just so proud of what she has done. And we've had the pleasure of knowing 𝗿𝗲𝗱𝘆 and her entire family the last 3 years. And again, for those of you not familiar, grew up in a cattle ranch. Used to get up at 5 in the morning to make sure the cattle were fed and in the pen or whatever else they do with them. And I remember the first time you and I saw her, Gruber was going to San Antonio to play in the state championship. She was a senior. She walks in, and Coach Gerlich looks at both of us and says, "That's my next star." And I said, "That skinny little girl?" Boy, was I wrong on that one. Now, let's see. Did they draw them up?
No.
Fans already know it, and so does the team. They're all standing.
They're wanting Bailey to shoot.
And she's not going to do it. She's not going to do it. And she'll take a ceremonial 3. And didn't get it.